Hey everyone, it's Orange. Welcome to Path to Decency episode 55. For our summons today, we have 22 mystical scrolls. Those will be at the end of the video. The timestamp is down below. The last episode, I kind of liked how I organized it into categories, and it has been 2 weeks since the last episode, so I think it's a wise decision to organize this episode into categories as well. The first category is going to be covering what happened in the past 2 weeks for Arena and Guild Wars. 2 weeks ago, we finished Guardian 3 in Guild Wars, rank 13, baby, so close to rank 10. We thought we had it, but then we didn't for some reason. We had a very intense Guild Wars rush. I believe we did 2 swords, and the final battle was extremely close. One of my guildmates, Denbo, actually streamed it on his Twitch channel. He did a lot better than I did in Guild Wars. I've really been struggling ever since I joined So Fucking Epic, because we have a lot of tough Guild Wars fights. So this past free rune removal, just a couple days ago, I improved my Guild Wars monsters a lot, which I will show you guys later in the video, and I'm also showing all of that stuff off in the April 2017 rune video, which should already be on my channel by this point in time. So you guys can check that out too. I'm going to link you guys Denbo's VOD of the rush hour down below, but that should expire. I don't know if he's uploaded it to YouTube, but that should expire. I think Twitch VODs just expire. I am not going to do a video commentary over that rush because, like I said, I just did extremely terrible. So I don't want to show you guys that. I am working on improving stuff. Right now I'm in the whole phase of Path to Decency Guild Wars Edition, where I'm learning to get good because I'm fighting legit guilds. We're in legit Guild Wars mode right now. So, Guardian 3, rank 13. The day after, I finished Guardian 1 in Arena. I can't remember how many refills I did or if I did a commentary. I did not do a commentary on that one because the strategy I'm using for Arena is the exact same ever since a couple weeks ago, and I already have 2 commentaries on that. My Guardian 2 commentary and the Guardian 1 commentary I did before that. The exact same strategy went down. So the strategy I'm using right now has proven to be very consistent and successful in the current meta with the current people I'm fighting. So I'm still using just 2 AOs, that's it, basic stuff, and my double Fire Mummy AD. I do run a different defense for the first 30 minutes, but I don't really think the first 30-minute defense matters too much. I used this one last weekend, not the weekend we're talking about now, and this one worked just fine, even though it has a crappy-ass win rate, so I really don't think the first 30-minute one matters. So I'm going to link those rush hour commentaries down below. So I failed, or I did not do one Guardian 1 rush hour commentary just because it's so repetitive. I'm just doing the same strategy. It's very basic. Next, the following week, just a couple days ago, in Guild Wars, we finished Guardian 3, which I will show you guys live right now. Oh, we have like burning time or something that I should be doing, but nah, we're doing Path to Decency. So here is our past Guardian 3 finish, rank 20. We've been doing really, really well in Guild Wars as a guild, except for me, but I've improved my stuff and I've been doing better. And I think we did hold a sword last weekend, so we're only doing 11 swords. As you guys can tell by the thing right there, you know, it says we won 10 out of 11 of our sword things, or whatever they are, whatever they give you to do a battle. So sometimes we hold those, and again, we did the 2 sword rush, but we only used 1, because our position was very optimal to not do that second sword. If we did, we could have lost and dropped down to Guardian 2, which would have been bad, so the guild voted to hold that sword, and we did, and we got Guardian 3. Let me show you guys some of my... I'll have this up right now. Actually, let's talk about that. Let's talk about that in 1 second. Let me go over how Arena went. So that was Guild Wars. Then the day after, which was like 2 days ago, we had Rush Hour again, because that's just the Summoners War schedule. And I finished Guardian 1 again. This may be my 4th Guardian 1 finish, I can't remember. And then I've had 1 Guardian 2 finish, which was extremely lucky. And the fun thing, the cool thing to mention about this Guardian 1 finish is that the reward was Basalt, boys. I've always wanted a Basalt. Every time I summon one of those damn Light and Dark scrolls, I've always wanted one, but it's always a Bella, or it's always a Hall of Heroes Nat 4. I finally got a Basalt through Arena. I didn't think it would happen. That was a thought in my head a while ago. I was wondering if I would get my Basalt by getting Guardian 1, or if I would eventually get one from a Light and Dark Scroll. So this was very nice to finally obtain him. I think it's a him. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to build Basalt at all, but I have a nice little Pokemon toy thing that is fun to look at because he's cute. Look, oh, so cute. Okay, so that was that. Amazing reward, one of the better ones for Guardian, because a lot of those Light Dark monsters are bad, but whatever. So I got Guardian 1, and I showed you guys those stats already over here. Again, using the same strategy. Double Lucian, Shimate Lucian, and my Fire Mummies. I will be doing a commentary on that soon, just because it's Basalt week, and I feel like that's exciting. So I should do a commentary on that. It'll probably be up on my channel after this episode, so look forward to that. Let's go ahead and jump back to Guild Wars and discuss some stuff about that. Mainly what happened was free rune removal happened 2 days ago, because today's Tuesday, no, 3 days ago, on Saturday. And I did a lot of changing stuff. I gave my best runes to Bernard and my 2 Lucians. The thing about Megan and Shimate is that they do not need good runes to work on my teams. So they got runed up later. So after Bernard and my Lucians, I immediately started runing up my Guild Wars monsters. So I really focused on Orion, Veligil, Ritesh, Huadam, Chasun, and Theo. Theo got runed up right after both my Lucians. I'm going to show all these runes off in my April rune video if you guys want to see, and I have been doing some Guild Wars commentaries on this stuff. I'm really learning to get good with these monsters because we have really tough fights, and these fights really stump me. I pick one team and it looks all good, and then the second team, I'm like, I do not think I have anything to beat that, and I think what I'm kind of lacking is damage dealers for both teams. Because in the past, I used to bring one of my favorite teams, I can actually show it off right now, because I have swords, is that top team right there. Theomars, Veligil, Ritesh, super amazing, all 3 different elements, so generally the enemy team gets so spread out with their damage that I'm just able to tank so well. Extremely good bruiser team, and then at that point, if I'm not able to copper bulldozer someone, or use my Lagmaron team, I'm stumped, and I just don't have anything for the second team. So I'm working on more options, and my guild mates have been super helpful. We've been talking in Discord and in line about certain things, and they even helped me come up with my defenses. I think a couple people were helping me, so thank you to all of my guild mates who helped me. I don't remember who was helping me, and there were like a couple people, but they told me about running these 2 defenses, and I have been doing better. I have some draws and successes. Ooh, I think I got another draw in there. So I will continue to make sure that my defenses do well, and I will try to see which one is winning and which one is losing, or if both are winning. And I have realized that there are still some things I can work on to make my defenses better. Chasun and Theo have a slight speed gap in between them. Since my Theo is kind of slow, that's how I decided to build him this month, just to give him the most damage he could do. If I looked at closing the gap a bit and making him faster, he would lose a lot of damage, so I decided to kind of forfeit the speed and go for this build right here. That's just one of the small things that I've noticed that I can improve on. Even if it's not that big of a deal, it is something that can be improved upon. And also, my second team, Orion, I tried to make him as good as I could, but I looked at some other people's Orions. Dipping, one of my guild members, has a really beastly Orion, and I'm jealous of her Orion, so I'm kind of worried about mine, but I think he turned out okay. I would like him to be a bit faster, so there's still some things that I can work on, especially his runes I've been thinking about, and I think there were some other things I can't quite recall. I think that was pretty much it for defense, but then mainly offense is really where I need to work on stuff. I think I need to work on single copper teams with 2 other monsters and single bulldozer teams. I know those can work really well because I've been saying I feel like I'm lacking damage dealers. I have been watching some videos from Vane Solidor, and he uses Konamiya. Some of my guild members were telling me they use Tessarian and Delphoy, all monsters I have. So I'm currently looking at the monsters I have and seeing if I can incorporate them. So it's going to be a slow process, just like Summoner's War is, but hopefully I can keep incorporating these. I'm sure I will, because every single week I bring you guys a new video and there's like a billion new things to talk about. So I have things in the works and I should be improving, but you just got to be patient, or I have to be patient while that kind of works out. And I'll take the time to learn about these teams and figure out what to do against them to beat them. So yeah, Guild Wars, we've got a lot of stuff going on, and I'm working on getting better, and my guild has been so supportive of everyone who joined, like new people, like me especially, and helping me get better. So yeah, that's been really awesome. Thank you to everyone in my guild. Okay, let's see what is next on the list. Also for Arena, I failed to mention that I did a little live stream of my rush hour. I didn't do any voice commentary because I still wanted to focus, and that was kind of the level that I was comfortable at. So I did live stream it. I had some people chatting. I answered some questions and chatted with some people, so that was really awesome. I love chatting with my viewers, and it was just a small little thing. I think maybe there were like 15 to 20 viewers, so that was really cool. The VOD should still be on my Twitch channel if you guys want to see it. I think the chat should show up. Nothing really amazing occurred in chat, just like some small stuff, but my rush stuff is over there if you want to see it in full, and I should do a full commentary on that, so the whole thing should be on YouTube eventually. I might do live streams in the future, so look for this Sunday. During rush hour, I might be live streaming it, and some people said that they really enjoyed it. Some people who were watching my stream, they were like, that was intense, so that kind of made me happy that people enjoyed it. That's kind of like the greatest joy of a YouTuber / Twitch streamer. So yeah, I'm glad that those people enjoyed it. Next on the list, let's go over buildings, the second category. What building upgrades did I possibly buy? I bought some Glory Shop buildings, and that was it. And we have to talk about the guild shop a little bit, because I did change up my strategy from last week. Last week I thought I was done with buying summoning stones, but I'm not. Okay, Glory Shop buildings, water building level 10, it is fully maxed out. Right there, level 10, boys. And fire building level 9, I actually just bought that a second ago, and now I only have 25 glory points left. So, I've always said this, every time I do a Path to Decency I recap, we only need one more level of the Fire Sanctuary, then Light and Dark, and then there's one more mana building, and that's completely it. I'm done with Glory Shop buildings, this mana building over here. And then after that, I can buy Scrolls and Rainbow Mon. Random Angel Mon, not Rainbow Mon, Angel Mon. I don't really care about that, though. I don't know. I don't really like those things, but I guess they help. So that is that, and I'm not sure how many points I get per week. I might have to be a bit strategic about which scrolls I buy. I believe the mystical would probably be best, just to give you the greatest chance of getting a Nat 5. I talked about this before, but recently I looked at all these Nat 5s and tried to see how many I would be okay with getting, how many are good, and the majority of them I would be okay with getting and are good. So I think mystical would probably be best, followed maybe by fire, because fire monsters are so strong on AD. I don't really know. And then maybe, I don't know. Okay, I just won't even talk about that. I would say wind for Tiana because she's OP, but I'm not quite sure. So when we get to that bridge, we will cross it. But for now, let's just focus on what's left. Okay, so that was all the buildings. I'm pretty close to buying another upgrade in the guild shop for a building. Not quite, though. Let's talk about summoning stones, which I have been buying again. I am going to go for a Commune and I think another Lucian, so I have 3 Lucians, probably a hard-hitting Lucian who's a bit slower. I'm not quite sure, but I've talked about my thought process before on this, and my thought process is I've only gotten 1 Orion in my 1 year and 6 months of playing Summoner's War. That's the whole time I've been playing Summoner's War. I got 1, fed it, and I haven't gotten 1 since. So in 1 year from now, or 1.5 years from now, do I want to be in a position where I don't have another Lucian, or I don't have a Commune? Probably not. I would like to have that option open for me, and I've gone over the odds of getting Nat 4s. It is extremely good. As long as you keep farming these stones from the guild shop, doing TOA normal and TOA hard if you can, you will eventually have enough stones to get a Nat 4. I know some people might come in here and be like, well, you only have a 99.999% chance of getting that Nat 4. There's a small chance that you won't get it. Well, yeah, but I mean, it's pretty much guaranteed that you will get any Nat 4. Let's talk about Commune specifically. So I'm kind of getting intense and hardcore into Guild Wars, where this is actually tryhard mode, and people are very legit, and I'm struggling. So Commune, I have a pretty good setup here, and I think Commune is going to pretty much be like Orion. He's really emerged in the meta recently, and so many people are running him. On defense, top guilds are running Communes, so I think he's going to be one of the monsters that I need to get, or have an option to get. I should be buying those summoning stones to give myself the option to obtain him, just because I may not be obtaining those Nat 5s needed for Guild Wars, or not needed, but that are good for Guild Wars. Water Panda, I'm trying to think of some off the top of my head. Eladriel, I mean, he's kind of good. I don't quite know, though. Water Panda, Eladriel, Rakan, Sierra, there's a ton, right? A ton of Nat 5s that are good. I may not be getting those, so I think it's important to have Commune in my arsenal for that, because he's pretty much like Orion. He's S tier for Guild Wars at this moment. And if I want to keep competing, if I want to stay in this guild, I think Commune's going to kind of be like Orion in that situation. So I have continued to buy 3 stacks of summoning stones every week. And since we are finishing Guardian 3 pretty often, I've only been in this guild, I think, for 3 weeks, maybe 4, I think just 3. And we finish Guardian 3 every week. I'm not sure if we'll be finishing Guardian 2, but I have been getting more summoning stones with that, so that's awesome. I haven't quite done the math on guild points, though. I honestly would be interested to see how many I'm getting in this guild compared to my last one, which Privilege, which was a semi-farming guild. We'd set farming defenses Monday through Wednesday, and then we'd climb back up to either Guardian 1, 2, or 3. We had some lucky Guardian 3 finishes in there, and some Guardian 2 finishes, because I've been struggling a lot now in this guild, but I don't know, I haven't been keeping track of guild points because I didn't really think of it, and I'm pretty lazy, but it would be interesting to see. But I don't know how I would possibly do that at this point in time. Maybe I should keep track of that, actually. I think I might have some screenshots of my contribution at the end, or, oh no, because that's just summoning stones. I don't know. So yeah, that was Guild Wars. I'm confident in the strides that I made on free rune removal, but of course there's much more to go to actually kind of get okay at Guild Wars. And go ahead and check out my commentaries if you guys are into that Guild Wars stuff. And again, my guildmates are really the people that are helping me improve, and I have been trying to do my own research on Reddit and stuff like that. There was a really cool Reddit thread last week it was like, what are your go-to Guild Wars teams? And a lot of people were mentioning stuff there, so that was pretty cool to see. Okay, next on the list, we're going to jump to a brand new category, which is going to be new monsters, new 6 stars, skill ups, and any runes that I picked up. So, one thing to mention is that I was doing a couple EXP boosters because I did make a few new 6 stars since the last episode. I 6-starred Gemini, who is down here. Gemini, Rigel. Let's talk about my Necro team before we continue on. So, I've been noticing in Guild Wars that literally everyone has will runes in the guilds that we fight, and will runes are extremely strong in Guild Wars. And I don't have many will runes. I haven't farmed Necro that much. So on free rune removal, I did build a Necro team, which I guess I'll talk about free rune removal a bit later. And I've also been thinking about what my theoretical Necro team will be, my endgame Necro team, and I did some research on Reddit. What I saw people saying is that they said the Liches are the best monsters for Necro. I had 3 Rigels, I think I summoned 1, and then I had 2 others from the Hall of Heroes. I believe what happened was I farmed 1 from Hall of Heroes, and then I accidentally did 1 more run. So I just said, fuck it, let's farm another one. So I had 3, and I think my theoretical best team is going to be double Rigel, Colleen. I had been hearing everyone say Colleen is going to be your healer for Necro. Like, they weren't telling me that, but that's just the general consensus on Reddit. And I trust those people on Reddit. Most of them are level-headed and they know what they're doing. Double Rigel, Colleen, Lucian Leader. There was a really good comment by someone saying that generally you're either going to run Lucian or Teshar leader. My guildmates were saying that Lucian leader is very good as well, so I had a lot of people telling me that. Double Rigel, I keep repeating this, sorry. Double Rigel, Colleen, Lucian, +1. I'm really not sure what that last monster is going to be, so I'll have to figure that out. But so far, that's kind of the team that I've built. That's always how I look at building teams, kind of what you need first. And that kind of seemed like everyone kind of said that's what you just do for Necro. So that Double Rigel team is going to be my future Necro team. For now, I'm running this one. It's quite slow. The run times are 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I'm going to do my best to farm as much Necro as I can just because I'm lacking so many will runes and I suck in Guild Wars because I don't have those. I don't have a will shield team for Guild Wars and I'll need that anyways when I build my cleave team for Arena. Let's go. I keep jumping all over the place, but let's go to Arena real quick. Wait, did I talk about this? I kind of forgot, but right now, I'm consistently finishing Guardian 1, but I think the difference between Guardian 1 and Guardian 3 is very extreme. I think the difference between Conqueror 3 and Guardian 1 is quite small, but then like the kind of climb from Conqueror 3 to Guardian 1 is pretty small. And then when you're looking to get Guardian 3, it's going to be much steeper. I think my Lucians are going to have to be much, much, much better than they are right now to be Guardian 3 Lucians. And then how did that even tie in with Necro? My second Lucian should be on Will. Oh, also, yeah, this is how it tied into Necro. I think I'll need a cleave team at some point. I'm not quite sure if double Lucian will be enough. Maybe if they're really good, they'll be enough. That's a huge possibility, I think. But getting will runes would help me to build a cleave team if I need one for Guardian 3, which I'm not sure if that's necessary. So yeah, that's a big question mark, but Necro's gonna help me with Guild Wars for sure. It's just really kind of embarrassing, not embarrassing, but I know that having a will shield team for Guild Wars and having will sets on most of my stuff is going to be necessary at some point in time. So I'm gonna do my best, but my runs are so slow with my current monsters, and I am working on Devil Moning Rigel, which I'll just mention it now because it's on my list. Because that is my end game team, and I hope we don't have a Lich Hall of Heroes show up soon. Even if we do, it shouldn't be too many skill ups. So I'm working on Devil Moning this one, and the second one down here, wait, he's in storage. He's only 5-star at this point in time. I'll probably hold off on skill ups on him just until I'm more ready. I did test out teams with Rigel. I tested out Lucian, Rigel, Colleen, and then I tested out some other monsters, but those teams didn't work out too well. My current Necro team, I think, has a very high success rate, so I'll show you guys a run of that after we go over the rest of this stuff, and a run of that is also going to be in my April rune video. Okay, so I 6-star Gemini, Rigel, Konamiya, who's actually in storage. I just figured I will most likely have a Konamiya built at some point in time. Over the past 2 weeks, I've been creeping around on a lot of Guardian 3 players, or good players, I don't know, islands. So what I did was I went over here, and then I went to rankings. It's only, what is it, Tuesday, so these, some of these guys may not really be consistent Guardian 3 or Guardian 2 players, but some of these guys I recognize, like Hikates, Scat, Gosu. I'm sorry if I offend you, if like you're good and I don't recognize you, but some of these people I've heard of from like looking at streams and stuff like that. So I've looked at some of their stuff, what they have going on, looking at their builds, and a lot of them had Konamiya, so I did go ahead and 6-star Kona. I looked at builds for Shren and Kali, the light high elemental and the fire high elemental, but I don't think I can make them do enough damage at this point to be worth it. I think they were only doing like 30,000 damage, and even Orions sometimes have more HP than that, so I held off on those two, but I know Vayne Solador uses Shren and Kali both frequently, so those can be options in the future for me. Let's see, who else was there? I 5-starred the other Rigel who was in storage. I think you guys maybe saw him over here, right there. And I also 5-starred Delphoy because my guildmates were telling me she's very good in Guild Wars, and I had also seen a lot of Guardian 3 players with a Delphoy built, and my Delphoy is fully skilled, which makes it even more worth it to build her, just because she's fully skilled. And that was because we recently had a light Undyne Hall of Heroes, so I guess I kind of already mentioned that. And I also had some Undyne skill ups in storage for her, so she's fully skilled. I might look at building her next month, I'm not quite sure yet. I do give my Guild Wars monsters some of my best runes, and I don't know if she's going to make the cut, if she'll be good enough. With Guild Wars, it's a balance between runes and your monster and its innate power. Sometimes if you bring a certain comp, the monsters themselves are strong enough to carry weak runes, but other times they're not. She has some cool like eyeshadow eyeliner on, I just noticed that. Never mind. Okay, so yes. So Delphoid might be a possibility in the future. Also, my Rena, I summoned a random one from an unknown scroll, and I skilled up my first Rena's Fill. Thank God, we are pretty much done with her. I might start on the second arena. I kind of talked about this, but I would like to have 2 arenas built in case the fire mummies stop doing so well. I don't really think that's going to be a thing because not many people run the fire mummies. There has been a bit of stir about them and some discussion on Reddit. So I'm not sure what I'll do with those. I might just put any Apicion priest I get in storage and wait on it. Wait to make a decision until the decision is more clear. So Rena got a skill up in Fill. I already talked about Devilmonding Rigel, and I already talked about the Light Undyne Hall of Heroes, so I used all of those skill ups for Delphoi, and I have 2 left over. Some people were saying that the Light Undyne's good for Guild Wars, but I think she's kind of stat hungry and hard to rune. That was weird, how you do that and it does that. So I don't have any plans to build her or anything, so she's just going to sit there for a while. And next, the final category before the summons is going to be miscellaneous stuff. So the one miscellaneous thing is that my Dragons B10 team finally had 1 fail. That's kind of a bad thing. I made it sound like a good thing, but they had 1 fail, so in the last episode they were still 100% successful, and I believe the fail was maybe before free rune removal. I can't remember because I did change my stuff. I made Verd a tanky Verd, and he used to be more of a damage dealer Verd, so I'm not quite sure how they'll do now. I'm sure there's still a very slight chance that they fail, but overall very, very successful. 99-point-something% successful. So I just thought I'd mention that fail for you guys. I believe that was before, yeah, that was definitely before free rune removal, so right now they might be 100%, I don't know. Okay, the next miscellaneous thing is free rune removal. I made a lot of changes. I think I talked about this, but I ruined up my Bernard and Lucian's first, then Guild Wars stuff. Let me touch on this one more time. So right now I have a very heavy PvP focus with my Guild Wars monsters and with my AO. My AD only has to be ruined up for 30 minutes. I think I said that, I don't remember. But I can just pop runes on them for those 30 minutes and then take them off. Because the rune overlap they have with my other monsters is basically nothing. And so I put my runes on my AO, then Guild Wars stuff, and I've really kind of been neglecting my PvE monsters. I had to de-rune Shaolin, who had decent runes last month. Mi Yang got a lot worse too. So I am neglecting PvE, but I may go back to a PvE focus in the future, especially if I spend more money on the game. Right now I'm still only spending $10 per month. If Come2Us puts out more packages that are extremely cost efficient, I will buy those. I have been thinking about buying the monthly bonus package. I don't quite know if I'm making enough money off of YouTube each month to buy this, but I might look at doing that in the future. And if I start incorporating more crystals into my game, and if I start spending money, I of course want to get rid of those. My necro runs are very slow, so my crystals are kind of piling up right now, and if I start spending more money, I need to get rid of those because I need to be farming runes. So I might look at shifting runes back to my PvE monsters in the future, but for now, this is how it's going to be. I just thought I'd mention that. If you guys are interested in that whole deal, you guys can always check how much money I've spent in my paste bin document. It's always linked down below. So yeah, I think it's $500 at this point, which is $27 a month, something like that. So yeah, $27 every single month since I started playing, but I didn't actually spend $27 a month. Math. Okay. Next on the miscellaneous list is, that was actually it. I just have a little note about Path to Decency Guild Wars Edition. Yeah, stay tuned to all of this. I kind of thought maybe I should do another series on it or something, but I think I'll just talk about it in Path to Decency. I'm not quite sure, but I am really looking at making a ton of improvements over a long period of time with my Guild Wars stuff to be stronger. So that was it for this episode, besides the summons, so let's go ahead and jump into them. We actually have one legendary scroll from the event that's going on right now, the 3rd year event. A Ran? No, that's not a Ran, a Yen. Do I need that? No, not really. So maybe for Ran skill ups, maybe Ran might be... No, we're getting a lightning and my phone's lagging. Holy shit! Oh, that's the blue one, though. That kind of is surprising. I really did not expect another Nat 5 right now. Okay, I'm gonna screenshot this. Hold on. Okay, I don't know how to feel about that, because that's the blue one. Isn't that the worst one? Okay, that's quite rare, though. What was I just talking about? My Necro team, maybe I'll use a Ran as one of my monsters for my Colleen, Double Rigel, Lucian, Ran, I don't know. Okay, hopefully I can build this dude, because that would be nice. A water tank? I don't have one of those, do I? I do not. This can be very useful, I think. Interesting, guys. Some of you are probably like, why are you not freaking out? Because it's the blue one. I don't know if the blue one's any good. Is blue one good? Oh gosh, I always type in the wrong chat. I'm not used to typing, well, I sort of am. Okay, so let's continue on with the summons. What's that dude's name? I don't even know his name. Kumar, Ritesh, I'm totally blanking right now. That monster is just dying in my storage box because he chose the wrong summoner. That's what happened. I'm completely ungrateful for getting that Nat 5. I hope I can use him somehow. Interesting. I did not think that that would be my next Nat 5. But it was. So, what's that? What's the count now? Veligul, Ritesh, Lagmaron, Ganymede, and then now... whatever. I'm totally blanking on the name. Okay, let's continue with the summons. That's super cool that it was a mystical, though. I've summoned so many mysticals since my last Nat 5, and haven't gotten anything. So that was it for the summons. What the hell? What the hell? Where is he? Okay, let's check out his name. How do I check this out? Down here. Where'd he go? Oh, okay. Chandra. Yeah, I hope I can make him work. I think YDCB has one, and he uses him a lot. Let's check out his skills. Okay, so we have a stun. That's pretty nice. Okay, attack speed buff. And then we have the defend thing. Huh. Interesting. That's quite strange, though. Okay, let's see what this is. Attack speed. I don't know about that dude. I don't really know about this dude. Okay, maybe I can find a way to make him work. If you guys have any build suggestions for him, let me know in the comments. That would be lovely. I'll have to do some Reddit research. Aside from that, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Path to Decency 55. And I got my next Nat 5, so I broke an 8-month dry streak, something like that. And I've been summoning a lot. I play this game, I do TOA and TOA hard every single month. Maybe I'll get another Nat 5 from the events we have going on, and from TOA and TOA hard, which are resetting in 3 days here. I think it's actually 4 because the counter's kind of weird. I have not bought my legendary scroll yet. I have had so many summoning sessions that are disappointments with legendaries. I've summoned like 3 legendaries. I've summoned maybe like 20 legendaries, no Nat 5s, but maybe this one will be it, or the TOA hard ones. Stay tuned, guys, and then maybe my guildmates can kind of help me out. Maybe they can console me and hold me while I cry on their shoulder about that Nat 5. I don't quite know. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I will catch you guys later.